Ana Kasparian has officially left the left, and Cenk Uygur, the owner of the Young Turks, refuses to fire her as the wokies are so pissed that she's now an independent. Oh my gosh, so triggered. Tim Pool, or in their names, or what they like to call him Beanie Boy, has a lot to say about this. By the way, thank you so much for watching Bring the Asteroid. Make sure you like today's video, subscribe to the channel. Also subscribe to my personal channel. I post 2 new videos there every single day, and we'll get into the drama.
It's a story from 2023, April 19th, the awakening of Ana Kasparian. But more has happened since then. Ana Kasparian of the Young Turks, who is a progressive, has posted this, independent and unaligned, September 30th. The result, of course, is Cenk Uygur being pressured to fire Ana. He says, for extreme leftists, or whoever you are and whatever you'd like to call yourself, who would like me to fire Ana Kasparian for being open-minded instead of agreeing with you 100% of the time, as you demand, here's my answer. No, F off. Bravo, Cenk Uygur, sir. You know, Cenk Uygur's an interesting guy. I used to have a lot of respect for him. My respect for him went down, and I'll tell you why. Because I saw him at Politicon, like, I don't know, 7 years ago or something. He had run on his channel a smear of Dave Rubin. Whatever. They used fake news to justify their smear of Dave Rubin, for which their thumbnail had my name in the middle of their fake smear piece. It was like this bunch of red lines connecting people and stuff and conspiracies. And so I saw Cenk because I know him and have known him for years. And the last time I talked to him, we were very friendly. And I was like, hey, Cenk, you posted this video thing or whatever, and it's got my name. I've been trying to reach out to you and just say, like, I don't know what your beef is with Dave Rubin, but I just really don't want to be involved. And he just blew up at me and started yelling at me. He's yelling at me in the middle of Politicon. BBC runs up, they're filming, and I was like, why are you yelling at me? And he's like, you're a MAGA guy, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what are you talking about? That's nuts. Because this was like 2017. I had not endorsed Donald Trump. I was speaking out mostly against him, critical of him, just not lying, I guess. And so then my respect for him went down quite a bit. But in the past couple of years, he's been coming around, and largely Ana Kasparian has been coming around. She has this post. She says, after Trump came onto the political scene, and especially after he was elected in 2016, the us versus them mentality immediately took shape. Anyone who refused to resist Trump was seen as a threat to the country, and I was fully on board with that mindset. It all felt righteous at first, but eventually the tactics deployed to fight Trump became repetitive, boring, and ultimately fruitless. Polling shows that he has increased his support among Black and Latino voters despite wall-to-wall coverage on his unsavory, racist, and bigoted remarks. I'm going to pause there and say, which ones? Because I'm not familiar with those. Several years of media raising alarm over Trump's threat to democracy has only resulted in a tight presidential race between himself and Kamala Harris. I can't help but acknowledge that the only thing that was accomplished by resisting Trump was less understanding and more division among Americans. I personally became reluctant to challenge my side or engage with voters who disagreed with me. In turn, I became less knowledgeable about the people and world around me. I saw Republican voters as an evil monolith, and that was a big mistake. My evolution started in 2022 when I was sexually assaulted by a homeless man in my neighborhood as I was walking my dog. That horrible experience alone didn't change me politically, but the treatment I received from the far left and some progressives after sharing my story did. I was told that by publicly sharing what had happened to me, I was stigmatizing my unhoused neighbors. Others accused me of feeding into racist tropes because they assumed that my attacker was Black. But I never even disclosed the man's race. He was white. Not only did I suddenly see the flawed thinking of some of the left, I also witnessed their cruelty and hypocrisy in real time. These terrible traits that I had associated solely with my political opponents were obviously not exclusive to their tribe. I was stupid for ever thinking that was the case. That doesn't mean everyone on the left thinks or behaves in the way this small group of lunatics do, far from it. But it does mean that there are factions and flaws on both sides of the aisle, and no one has a monopoly on truth. But I got to tell you, Ana, that reality has a right-wing bias, at least right now. Then there was the insane reaction to one of my tweets in March 23. And I'll tell you why it has a bias. Because Ana Kasparian's a progressive, and when she tweets this, the left loses their mind. She says, I'm a woman. Please don't ever refer to me as a person with a uterus, birthing person, or person who menstruates. How do people not realize how degrading this is?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that this is considered offensive, right? It's insane. We're living in insane times, guys.
You could support the transgender community without doing this ish. All hell broke loose after I posted those words. Most friends in left-wing media didn't bother reaching out privately to discuss their disagreement with my personal preference. Instead, many self-described socialists took it upon themselves to profit from conflict by publicly attacking me with monetized videos. Hey, young Turks, remember when you did this to me? I'd like to give a shout out to the Young Turks when I ran a segment talking about how scientific articles have come out showing conservatives tend to be more attractive than liberals. I then talked about privilege and why the left was actually correct about privilege, and this proves it. And the Young Turks, I think it was actually Anna, said, well, Tim's ugly. Look at his face. He's not much of a looker. Thanks for monetizing fake outrage. But I can say this with respect. You're coming around, okay? Look. I don't make videos saying, can you believe what Ana Kasparian said? What a moron. The video I make is, wow, Ana Kasparian, seeing the light, understanding what's going on, and I respect it. The title of this video is not going to be Tim Pool's mad at Ana Kasparian because she's ugly or something dumb like that. I'm only making this video because she's telling the truth. She's having a realization, and that's good news for everybody. You don't see me making videos every other day about Sam Cedar. The dude's got a hard-on for me, and he won't stop. But I got to hand it to him. When he puts out a video and gets 500,000 views, at least my name gets more search engine optimization, whatever. These people are obsessed with insane nonsense. This is exactly what I've been talking about, why I can't stand the left. Bro, you want higher taxes? Okay. You want to tax the rich? Sure. You want more access for abortions? Okay. Make your arguments. I'll listen and we can discuss it and we can be friends. Because I got a lot of friends on the right, Christians, conservatives, and they say, Tim, one day you'll see the light, one day you come around. But we're working together to live together, to be friends to the best of our abilities. The left? Nah. People that I knew for a long time just put up fake news every day so they can make money off the conflict, as Anna points out. So how's that, huh? A smaller leftist YouTube show put out 5 separate videos skewering me about the tweet, while conveniently erasing the advocacy I had done on behalf of the trans community throughout my career. They even went as far as drawing a link between my tweet and trans suicides, which sadly wasn't the most unhinged outcome of the debate. TYT's volunteer YouTube chat moderators quit over the tweet, and some even reported me to Human Resources. An on-air trans contributor even resigned from the company after being urged by online mobs and leftist shows to do so. Curious that not one of those shows hired her after she took their advice. I never apologized for the tweet, and I never will. That whole experience forced me to come to terms with the intolerance of the left and allowed me to publicly reject the ideological shackles that kept my world small and less informed.
Amen.
I'm going to say this.
She's going off. The queen's going off.
With all due respect, I don't believe Anna was completely blind to this. I think it was just that when it was weaponized against her, she got upset about it. That's my personal opinion.
Interesting.
With all due respect, I am actually a fan of many of the things Anna has been pointing out. I'm glad she is speaking out about this. It's great. I'm a fan that Cenk, I respect it, is saying she's allowed to say what she wants. But I am not a fan of how they, Young Turks in the past, have lied about me and many others, okay? They've slowed down on it. Maybe they've realized it's a bad course of action. The videos they put out about me where they were lying got blasted with dislikes, and the comments were like, you are liars and you're disgusting. And maybe they started to realize we're on the wrong side of this. Yeah. She says, today I'm less certain and more curious than I was 4 years ago. I've made humiliating mistakes while covering political news because I was previously unwilling to consider or understand the perspective of Americans who vote differently from me. She says, what to expect from Unaligned. I'm hungry for dialogue, a space for in-depth analysis, and a judgment-free zone. Well, I will also add, we have been working to book Ana Kasparian for a long time. She has agreed to come on either the Culture War podcast or Timcast IRL and have these discussions. However, scheduling has been less than easy, I would say, as it goes with many on the left.
That would be an interesting thing to see, a debate in person. Let me know what you guys think about this entire situation. What are your thoughts on what Tim has to say? The drama between Tim and Cenk and Anna is kind of funny, and we keep up with it here and on my channel. So, adios.